Collins. She's standing by with a special guest, the actress Rosario Dawson, the co-founder of Voto Latino. Caitlin.
Yes, Wolf, I am here with Ms. Dawson. It is great to have her here on the convention floor. As Wolf mentioned, you are the co-founder of Voto Latino. I want to talk about that in a moment. But first, just on what we're going to see on that stage tonight, Vice President Harris, her turn to make the argument for herself. What do you want to hear from her?
You know, I think we had a standing ovation for Joe Biden that lasted 4 minutes, an appreciation for him stepping down from the ticket, and for things like the infrastructure bill and the Inflation Act that is going to be massively beneficial, especially around the environment for communities across this country. And now we get with, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz's, presidency, the opportunity, especially with Voto Latino, the communities that we reach out to, an immigrant story, a working class story, people who really truly believe on the issues around affordable housing, LGBTQIA issues, women's right to choose, like someone who fortifies in this space whenever you look across her track record, as well as his policy that can actually be put in, even with a slim majority. I think people are very, very excited about the possibilities of what we could be voting for versus what we're voting against in this particular election. And, I call this the unbridled joy-vention in stark contrast to the Republican convention. And so I think, this enthusiasm needs to be capitalized on at the polls. And we're going to hear a very strong message that I think is going to galvanize people to do exactly that.
And of course, we heard from your co-founder on stage. The group, 20 years it's been since you founded it, which is pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has been making a lot of inroads with Hispanic voters since not just his last election, but since 2016, certainly. What do Democrats need to do to counter that, to bring those voters back in before November? Because there's obviously, as you know, not a lot of time.
No, not at all. Honestly, when I started Voto Latino, one of the big things that was trying to get people to speak to Latinos in English and not just on Spanish radio and Spanish television if you're really serious about getting their vote. As of 2010, they are the second largest demographic of Americans in this country. They have an unprecedented voting power that is unparalleled, and in previous years, it's only been growing. And we've been seeing the numbers coming in when the Republican Party is saying they're going to repeal the Affordable Care Act, they're going to do mass deportations, they're going to, rescind Social Security. They understand how devastating that could be for their communities. And so we're seeing, as Maria Teresa said yesterday, which had me in tears, the other myth that we're pushing back against is that it's not the Democratic Party that Latinos are voting for. As a matter of fact, she had everyone chanting yesterday, when Latinos vote, Democrats win.
Rosario Dawson, great to have you. Thank you for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Wolf, back